What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Movies That Make You podcast, where movies are more than just entertainment, they're a catalyst for meaningful conversations. I'm Jonathan Sprang, and I go by Sprang. And most weeks, we dive into movies to watch in preparation for the new releases hitting theaters. But we don't stop there. We explore the morals, the deeper ideas, and the life lessons that these films have to offer. Today's episode, we're preparing for Moana 2 that drops this Friday. In order to do that, we watched the first Moana movie, and so we talk about that for about half the episode, and then we decided to focus some time to do our top 10 list of favorite Disney characters. So all the boys, Kristen and I, joined the episode. We all brought our top 5 Disney characters, and then we ranked them based on votes and ranking. And at the end of the episode, you'll see what our number 1 is. You can follow our movie journey and join the conversation on Instagram at Movies That Make You, and check out our lists on Letterboxd at I Am Sprang. You'll find the movies that make you laugh, the movies that make you cry, the movies that make you scream, and everything in between. We love hearing from you, so drop us a message and let us know what movies have made an impact on your life. Before we dive into this week's episode, here's a sneak peek of the next 4 weeks on the Movies That Make You podcast. Next week, we're going to be talking movies from 1999. IMDb.com gave their 30 top movies from that year. I dwindled that down to my top 10 for that year, so I thought it would be fun to talk about those movies because this year marks the 25th anniversary. But I also thought it would be fun to talk about it with someone who was actually born in 1999. My 25-year-old nephew, Scott, is going to be joining us for that conversation. So if you were alive in 1999, you don't want to miss that one. The week after that, we've got Sonic the Hedgehog 3 coming out. So we're going to gear up for that by watching Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. This is one of Connor and Zeke's most anticipated films. It was on their top 5 most anticipated list that we did at the beginning of the year. So we're going to have a blast with that one. The week after that, we're going to be gearing up for Mufasa. This is a live action, well, as much as you can with CG, telling of the origin of Simba's dad, Mufasa. So we're going to be talking about the first animated Lion King and also the live action Lion King. But we're also going to touch on some of these other live action versions and which ones stand out to being our favorites and which ones we could do without. The week after that, we're gearing up for Nosferatu. This new iteration looks epic and I am stoked. So we hope you'll join us for that discussion as we gear up for his new film. Hope those episodes excite you. So without further ado, let's get to the podcast. We are back with another episode of the Movies That Make You podcast. I am Sprang, and I'm joined by everyone today, including Kristen.
What's up, guys?
And boys, why don't you go ahead and count down, talk down from oldest to youngest.
I'm Connor, I'm 14.
I'm Jacob, and I'm 14.
I'm Colton, and I am about 12 and a half.
I'm Ezekiel, and I am 11.
And we are here to talk about some fun stuff today. We are going to talk about Moana, gearing up for Moana 2 that drops this Friday. We hope you're excited to see it. We actually, as a family, just watched it last night, and we are going to have some fun talking about it. But before we jump into that, let's do a quick check-in. Connor, how's life going for you, buddy?
It's going good. I got a new bike, and it's really fun.
Very nice. Jacob, what about you?
It's going good. It's kind of boring right now, but I'm having fun with it. Trying to.
Cool. Colton?
Pretty good. I play basketball a lot, and it rained like there's a hurricane today, so.
Life's going pretty good for me. Just having fun, learning stuff at school, just, the usual.
Very nice. Kristen, how about you?
Oh, things are good. We got caught in a torrential downpour today after church, so that was fun. Just working out and working with work and playing with the dog.
Yes, and I just finished our October movie series, movie watching, 57 movies in the month of October, 57 movies, scary movies in the month of October. And there were a couple of movies in there that were not scary movies that I didn't count on that list. So almost 60 movies in the month of October. So that was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed all of our Halloween movies, all of our scary movie episodes. Well, very cool. So let's jump into Moana and chat about the first Moana movie. Connor, why don't you share a little bit? I know you said you'd seen this a bunch. What's kind of one of your big takeaways from Moana?
Girl needs to get the heart and return it, and she goes through this whole adventure to find it. Or she already has it, and she goes through this whole adventure to get Maui, right? Yeah.
Did you have a favorite part?
Not really. I liked all the coconut part. There's a bunch of them.
Oh yeah, the coconut barge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So, it was a good movie. Connor did a pretty good scripting, but my favorite part is when they fight, Maui fights the monster for like the first time since the first scene, where like, he's like, all right, I'm ready. They're on the raft, and then you see the big monster in the background, and then he turns around and is like, all right, time to go or something.
Yeah, it was good. Jacob, what about you? What's a good favorite part for the movie?
I think my favorite part was probably when Maui sang "You're Welcome." That's my favorite song in the movie.
Nice. Zeke, how about you? Favorite part?
I don't really know. They're all so good. My probably favorite part was when the grandma was dancing with the waves. That was like a very spiritual thing. I liked it.
Very cool. Mom, what about you?
My favorite part was the beginning, where when she was little, like a toddler, and she goes up to the ocean and it starts interacting with her. I thought that was really cool, just to see her gift.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool too. I think my favorite part is this when she sings the song "How Far I'll Go." I think it just speaks to, for me, it speaks to the heart of the film, but also it speaks to me because there's this sense where sometimes we feel the call to do something new and fresh and do something that's never been done, or sometimes we feel like we're trapped in doing things the way they always were done. And so it's like that call to go beyond that, to try and do something new and fresh that no one's ever done before. So that's why that song speaks to me so much. That's part of who I am, is someone that likes to think outside the box and feels called to do new things. So are there any other standout parts besides favorite parts?
I really like the graphics. They just look really good. As Zeke said, it was made in 2016.
It's not really like a favorite part, but I really liked the music of the film. It was like very emotional, and I feel like Pixar hasn't really, done like emotional movies. And I know that Moana isn't Pixar, but maybe they could like take inspiration from the movie to maybe make better movies.
So that's really weird because Pixar is known for making very emotional movies. So
Well, I was very moved. I was very moved by this one in particular. I don't know.
totally. So one thing about the music, it's this the guy that was really wrote, along with a co-writer, wrote the music for the movie, is a guy named Lin-Manuel Miranda. And he first came on the scene for a musical on Broadway called Hamilton, where it's like a lot of rap and hip hop influence to the story of Hamilton. The full cast was all people of color, and it really kind of took the world by storm. And so I think for me, I had not really heard of that or known of that musical or seen it or anything, but I knew that Lin-Manuel did the music for Moana. So this is actually my first experience with watching Moana. Was the first time I had heard of his music. And he definitely has a unique style for sure.
I love just the different culture. It's so different than how we live, but I love how their culture just interacts with all forces of nature. So you've got the earth, sea, the wind, fire, and it just really speaks to also the community that they live in. They all work together, they share, and just a really wholesome way to live.
One element I think you're forgetting, Kristen, is coconuts. That's a little joke inside Moana. He just like, I gave them water, fire, land, coconuts.
Great call, Zeke. Thanks for pointing that out.
So one of the things that I thought was interesting was there are a couple of images that happened in the film. One was the stacking of the stones for the rulers of the tribe. Does that remind anybody else of anything?
Like those bird and I forgot. They're at like campsites or something.
Oh, right. That people sometimes stack stones
Yeah.
on campsites and when they're traveling.
They're like wood carvings of birds and stuff.
Okay. Well, like a totem pole kind of thing? Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, totem poles. Anything else come to mind when we think about stacking of stones? Something from the Bible?
When I forgot was it Moses who built the altar?
Yeah. Well, a bunch of people built the altar, but Moses built one, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember when?
Sometime in the first 5 books.
Yes. Yeah, so they stacked stones before they went into the promised land, before they crossed the Jordan River to go in the promised land. And they said, whenever you walk by this stack of stones, remember to tell your children that we were slaves in Egypt and God brought us out and brought us to this land. So the stacking the stones as being a kind of a tribal thing felt very familiar to me. What are some of the other things that felt familiar from the story?
Like the birth of the earth from, I think they referred to her like as a different name. I don't recognize it, but like Mother God. And then just how she created earth and then laid down and took a nap, and then it created the island.
Yeah, that's similar to the story of God creating the in Genesis and then resting on the seventh day. What was Maui's main motivation in the whole movie, in his whole life? What was his motivation for existing? Go ahead.
I think it was to like be the hero and make others proud.
Yes, he wanted to be the hero. He wanted to be the god that people liked, right? So what did he do? Zeke already kind of mentioned it, but the whole "You're Welcome" song was about this.
He stole the heart of Tapiti and then tried to like, I don't know what he was trying to do with it, like bring it to the humans or something. But like, there was a big monster. He tried to steal the heart from him.
So that's another thing that's interesting too, is that Maui was trying to make everybody like him, and so he did something that was bad in order to try to make everybody like him. But also the thing that was common with our story of the scripture was that he should not have taken the heart. In the same way that Adam and Eve are told not to take the fruit of the knowledge of the good and evil, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It's like this power that's kind of reserved in the scripture, and it is reserved for God to have that knowledge. Maui was stealing it to give it to the humans, this power of life to give to the humans, but it was only meant for Nafti or the god, Nefiti. And so it's this kind of, there's a similar theme to the stories. That's what I'm trying to get at, is there's a similar theme to this thing that is meant for gods to have, but this desire that humans have to have it for themselves ends up causing destruction, ends up causing pain, ends up causing the earth to be different than what it could have been if we had just trusted in God to manage it, and trusted in God to give us what we need. Maui did it because he was basically is codependent on humans thinking he's their hero. In doing that, he ends up causing the destruction of the world because it all starts to fall apart, right? Jacob, what's Moana's gift?
She was like chosen by the water to like get Maui to put the heart back.
Yeah, so there's this sense where somebody needed to be called to go and do this to restore the world.
I was gonna say, if the heart was lost, why didn't the ocean just bring it back to the island and then like she put it back herself?
Yeah, you tell me.
Because there already no story or anything.
Sort of, yeah. But what was it that the god can't do it for himself? Go ahead, Jacob.
I was gonna say that the goddess like can't touch water because she's the lava monster right now.
The water can throw it at her and then like land inside her heart like a trick shot.
Possibly, like Dude Perfect. Moana's people were on this island. What were they told to do on the island? Go ahead, Zeke.
To not go outside the reef.
Why not?
Because they said it's dangerous to go outside the reef.
Yeah.
It wasn't dangerous before, but since Maui took the heart, it started being dangerous. They were wait, what type of tribe? She was saying like we're voyagers.
Yeah. Moana found out that they were all voyagers. So before they were the ones that were traveling from island to island and discovering new things. But since Maui took the heart, it made it more treacherous. Yeah. Good call. And so because this thing was taken that shouldn't have been taken, and now the world is in peril, they need a savior to rise up and restore balance to the world, right?
Yeah.
So all of that is very, very familiar to us, isn't it?
And that person was Jesus Christ.
Yes, in our story of the Bible, yes, Jesus was the savior for that. Go ahead, Colton.
That person is Superman. Woo-hoo!
Well, it's funny. So what Superman isn't one of them, but what are some of the other characters that we know of that have this same similar arc?
Spider-Man.
No, not Spider-Man.
Wait, the bad guy in Spider-Man, Mysterio. Mysterio.
No, what we're looking for is stories where something's bad and there's some sort of prophecy, because the grandma talked about there being
the Lego movie.
The Lego movie's one. What are some others? There's a prophecy that someone's going to come and restore balance.
The Bible.
Okay.
Moana.
Good one, dude.
Okay. Anybody else? Like
Connor?
Galaxy Far, Far Away?
Oh,
Superman. Star Wars.
Star Wars, yes. And another one, You're a Wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yes, Harry Potter. So this is a common storytelling thing that we see in a lot of stories, not just the Bible, but also it's been used a lot in other places. Go ahead, Colton.
I have a good one, but it's not like instead of being the hero doing it, it's the villain. Because, in like Avengers, there's too many people since overpopulation, so Thanos is trying to save everybody by snapping his fingers and making half them go away. It's just a villain perspective.
That's definitely a story of someone rising up and trying to do something for the world, but did it in the wrong way. Yeah, I can see that. Cool. Any other thoughts on Moana?
it was a good movie.
Maui's past. Like, he was abandoned and his parents didn't want him, so the gods took pity on him and made him a demigod of the earth and wind. And he gave the people, he stole fire from Hades. Maybe he took water from Poseidon, I don't know. And he brought coconuts from a fish monster. The coconuts again.
I know the coconuts are a big part of everything. Oh my goodness. So that's the exact reason why Maui feels the need to make sure that humans like him. Why? Go ahead, Colton.
Because his parents didn't.
Yeah. So he was discarded by his parents. And so now he's spending his entire life trying to make people accept him because he wasn't accepted by his parents. So, but it ended up being a thing that caused him to do the wrong thing at the end of the day. Of course, Moana helps him see that, hey, you are a hero. You don't need the fish hook. You don't need any of this stuff. You're worthy just by yourself. Sometimes we just need to be a hero just to be the hero, not because we need everybody to like us, but because we need to do the right thing. So really cool moral for the story for sure. So thank you for sharing that, Zeke. That was a really good thing to bring back up. All righty. Let's go ahead and rate it. Let's start at Zeke.
It was really good for seeing it for like the 100th time. Exaggeration. I loved it so much. It almost brought tears to my eyes. I just loved it. 5 out of 5.
Very good. Colton.
This movie is like one of my favorite movies because it's like old movie, so I remember watching it. And I like this movie, so I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 or a 4.5 out of 5.
All right. Jacob.
I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. It was a really decent movie.
Okay. Connor.
I give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay. Kristen.
4.5 out of 5. Solid the whole way through. Loved all the music, all the animation. It was really good.
Yeah, I give it a 5. I give it a 4.5 out of 5 as well. So lots of us gave it 4.5. So that makes it it's a really, really solid movie, really fun movie. So go see Moana 2.
What did Zeke give it? I didn't hear him.
A 5.
So Connor broke the streak because we almost all had 4.5s, and then Connor decides to give us a 4. Like, what are you doing?
Yep, it happens.
Connor Griffin.
It's not gonna be put in like the best movie ever.
You're selling.
All right. So go see Moana 2. It's going to be a good movie. It looks really good. Excited to kind of see where they take the story. Awesome. All right. So next up, we spent the first half of the episode talking about Moana, but I figured I'd take this time for us to take a look at our favorite Disney characters. So the second half of this episode is going to be walking down our top 10 based off votes from the kids and the parents. We'll be going through the top 10 characters. But before we do that, we have to knock out some of the single vote characters. We'll go through those pretty quickly. So you can just talk a little bit about each of them. Zeke is the winner. 4 out of 5 of his movies are made it on the list. So Zeke gets to go first. The only character that didn't make it on the top 10 is Tigger. So tell us a little bit about why you like Tigger.
I just love him, man. He's so goofy. He's like, I'm the only Tigger in existence. I'm the best. And only Tiggers can bounce. Boing, boing, boing. I just love him, man. He's just got like a goofy vibe. He's so funny. He's the best, man.
Absolutely. That's awesome. I remember liking Tigger as a kid. And the Tigger movie was a really funny movie. I think we watched that when you were little. So very cool. Anybody else want to say something about Tigger?
I like Tigger.
What do you like about him?
He's so funny. Like he's like Tigger.
Cool. Connor, what do you like about Tigger?
I like his personality and stuff. Yeah.
Nice. Colton?
Boing, 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 boing.
I think Zeke relates to Tigger. This is just me though.
Yeah, he's super active for sure. All right. So next up, we've got Jacob. Jacob has 2 characters on his list that didn't make the top 10. So I'm going to let you talk about those real quick, Jacob. Mater and Dory. Mater and Dory. Tell us a little bit about them. Yeah.
You're telling me Mater didn't make the list?
Correct.
I chose Mater because he's just a goofy dude. Like he's so like oblivious, and it's funny.
Yeah, that was your number 4. And your number 3 was Dory.
Oh, Dory? I chose Dory because she's kind of like Mater. Like she's forgetful and like she's goofy. And I don't know. I just remember watching Finding Nemo as like a toddler, and I don't know. I just have a connection with Dory.
I agree with you, Jacob. They both have really good hearts too, even though they're like maybe not the brightest in the sea or the car park, but they love people or cars.
Yes, just like Connor.
Did you know Mom's favorite movie actually is Finding Dory?
Finding Dory? Finding Nemo.
Isn't there Finding Dory?
No, not Finding Dory. It's Finding Nemo.
Your favorite movie is actually Finding Nemo?
Not like favorite ever, but it's one of my favorite animated.
Because I just made that up.
Oh, okay. Well, good job.
Very nice. All right, Colton, your number 5 was Jack Sparrow, and your number 2 is Bambi. Neither of those made it on the list. Tell us a little bit about those.
Jack Sparrow is really cool. He runs really weird. Jack Sparrow, he's cool because he's like a pirate, and he runs really weird. And
So have you seen any of those movies?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Fortnite.
No, you haven't seen the movies. You've just watched them in Fortnite.
So I've seen one of them.
All right, so Bambi. What else about Bambi?
I
Bambi's
don't
your number
know
2.
really much about Bambi, but she looks cute, so I was like, oh,
Okay.
Bambi.
Anybody else have anything about Bambi or Jack Sparrow?
I remember watching Bambi like 3 times in a row at a sleepover, and then the babysitter had to like come in and turn it off because it wouldn't stop repeating itself.
That's hilarious. So my cousin, she got Bambi on a VHS, and she got Alice in Wonderland on VHS, and so she had those on repeat, one after the other, for the entire rest of the Christmas trip. It was so ridiculous, but it's a good movie, so I can't falter for it. Zeke?
I remember this one scene. It's the one that's most clear to me. It's when Bambi called a skunk a flower, and I'm like, Bambi got the riz, bruh. Bambi is locked in.
Jack Sparrow runs funny.
Yes, he does.
I love Bambi. I grew up watching that. So cute, and little Thumper in the ice skating rink.
Yeah, Thumper almost made it on my list because I thought he was great. So because he was laughing at Bambi for calling the skunk a flower. All right, Connor. Sorry, the 2 of yours that did not make it on the list: Buzz Lightyear and Lightning McQueen. Tell
How
us a
did
little about
Lightning
those
McQueen
guys.
not make it?
Buzz Lightyear.
He's a W.
Why do you like those guys so much?
Because they're the best movies ever. Number 1, Lightning McQueen, and then Toy Story is like one of the best animated ones ever too.
Yeah, for sure. Anybody else have anything about that?
Connor was obsessed with Lightning McQueen and Cars when he was about 3. And I was like, man, he's going to be into Cars. And here we are.
Yep. Now he's obsessed with cars.
So Lightning McQueen is not the best thing in the world. So I don't know what Connor's talking about there. But I can agree with Toy Story. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Well, there's another character that did make it on the list, so we'll talk about him later. But this one I thought was very fascinating. Kristen, you had you subbed out one with Moana after seeing it for the first time last night. Your number 4 was Moana. Why did it make it so high on your list?
Well, it was Pluto. And the only reason why I picked Pluto is because I just love dogs. But, and I like the older Mickey movies like Mickey's Christmas with Pluto in it. But anyways, after seeing Moana, she just had to go into my top 5. She's just such a strong female character, and it was fun to see.
Yeah, I agree. That was awesome.
Did you put 101 Dalmatians?
I did not. Oh my gosh, but that's a great point.
The hard part is that there's 101 characters in that. You don't know what any of the characters' names are, and the only one you know is Cruella de Vil, who's the villain. So you're not gonna put the villain on your list.
And I honestly don't love that movie, mainly because she was gonna take all those puppies and skin them, and that's a little intense as like a 7-year-old watching that.
For sure. So the other one that you had that didn't make it on the top 10 list is Cinderella. So tell us a little about that one.
Cinderella's just a classic for me. The poor girl with the evil stepsisters and evil stepmother. I watched that movie over and over and over, and I just loved how she got that beautiful dress, and it was all the sparkles, and we all love my sparkles. And then, of course, the Prince Charming and the glass slipper, and happily ever after.
Yeah. So Simba made it on my list at my number 5. The son that whose dad passes away, and then he comes back and he saves the day, and he's the chosen one, and he has all this. Has all the strength, has all the power inside of himself. That kind of speaks to me. But also like just the music, the Hakuna Matata is great. The Can You Feel the Love Tonight, all that stuff. The opening sequence is just amazing for Lion King.
Didn't Prince Charming cheat on like 10,000 women? Like, because there's an actual movie about it. Like on Netflix, there's a whole movie about it, and
Are you talking about King Henry VIII?
no, I'm talking about Prince Charming. He cheated on Cinderella, Snow White, and I forgot the other one.
I think that's a nice little kind of funny thing that they did just to be silly, but it's a different Prince Charming in every movie. It's just he's more of a quote unquote Prince Charming. Somebody's going to have to come and save the day, and that's what they call him. So this is the top 10 is based on. So it's number of votes, number 1. If there's a same number of vote, then it's the highest ranked on the list. On whoever had it highest gets it on the list first. Then it goes down and down and down. There's only 2 on here that made it that only had 1 vote, and that's because we had 2 spots left, and there were still 2 number 1s from our list, which was Kristen and mine. And then I did a coin flip with Colton. I just made him guess or say a heads or tails, and then had him pick one. So that's how we did the rest of the list. So at number 10 is Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
I relate to Belle. I love to read. Always felt this embarrassing. Always felt a little like out of place, but then she finds her Prince Charming, and everything falls into place. He was a beast, You're 6'5", you're tall, but you're not. No, but just a wonderful story where she is just trying to help everybody, and she's got Gaston coming after her, and she's not about that life.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast was always one that I liked too. Great music, awesome stuff, awesome story of not judging a book by its cover, that kind of thing. So
Do you think I look like a beast?
sometimes when you wake up in the morning and your hair's not looking right, you look beastly. Anybody else have any thoughts about Beauty and the Beast or Belle from Beauty and the Beast?
Be our guest, be our guest, be our guest.
Yeah, that was a good song too. Go ahead, Colton.
So I've actually never seen Beauty and the Beast, but I think my friends told me this, that all he was doing was trying to have peace, and then they were just trying to attack him.
I think I've only seen Beauty and the Beast like once or twice, so I don't remember anything about it.
That's fair. Yeah, it's one that we grew up on, and you've probably seen it I think once or twice.
Yeah, I grew up in my house.
I was born at a very young age.
Nice. All right, number 9 is number 1 for my list, which is Genie. The Genie from Aladdin is just one of my favorite characters, played by the great Robin Williams. We just had our Robin Williams episode about 3 weeks ago, so if you didn't check that episode out, check it out. But Robin Williams did just an incredible job with this character. There's so much heart, there's so much love in that story. I love the music from the movie. But Genie stole the show for me, so that's why it made it number 1 on my list. He's my favorite Disney character of all time, for sure.
I did think about putting Genie on the top 5. He just was such a character, and of course with Robin Williams, he did all the voices and all the songs, so I'm with you on that one.
One of the unique things to say, and I did say this on that episode, but since you boys weren't on there, so prior to Aladdin being made, every animated film up to that point, animated the film, all the characters made all the stuff, and the actors went in the studio to record the voices by watching the screen and saying the voices to match up with the animation. Everybody understand that? So animation first, and then the voices to match the mouths on the animation. With Aladdin, it was the first time ever that they did the voice acting first, and then they animated the character after. And that's because of Robin Williams. They got Robin Williams to do it, and most of his lines were ad lib. He didn't follow a script. They just wanted him to do his thing, And so it changed the way that we make animated movies now. And so I just thought that was really crazy. Even as a kid, I remember seeing on the Disney Channel, they were talking about that before the movie came out. So it stuck with me. So that's why it was my number 1. It made it number 9 on the list. All right, number 8 on our list. It was voted on by 2 people. The character is Goofy. Who had Goofy on your list?
I did.
And
I did too.
I bet I know why, because I'm so goofy. Is that why?
No, it's because Goofy is a good role model. You potato.
All right, so tell us a little bit, Jacob. Why did you have Goofy on your list?
Bro, he's goofy. He's like my main idol.
Then why was he number 5?
Well, like, cause there's better people. Like, he's my main idol, but there's more favorite people, you know? Like,
Zeke, why did you have Goofy on your list?
Goofy's got game.
You got game?
Yep. He hits the gym. He got gains.
Okay. Well, since we don't get serious answers for that one, let's move on. Next up on the list, number 7 on our list is Jack Skellington. I know Zeke had that and Colton had that. Colton, why don't you share why Jack Skellington made it on your list?
Probably because one of the Halloween Before Christmas movie or whatever it's called, that's like one of my favorite movies, like most iconic movies, because I remember watching it like every Halloween. And I just like the movie, and Jack Skellington is a Jack Skellington Sigma, so I really think he deserves to be on my list.
Nice. All right, Zeke, what about you? Jack Skellington.
He was just so funny. Oh my gosh, he played the part so well. He was like, surprised, aren't you? I loved that. I loved that line. It was perfect.
Very cool.
I forgot about him. I had to like quickly jot things down, bro. I was like stumped when I wrote down Woody and Dory. I was stumped. Like, I had to think hard.
Okay. Jack Skellington, Nightmare Before Christmas, one of the best movies ever. Like, it's just solid. So very cool that made it on the list. All right, number 6. We ready? Number 6 is Woody from Toy Story. Jacob and Connor, I think you guys had him on. Jacob, go first.
Dude, Woody? I remember I had a Woody costume, and I don't remember putting it on or anything. I don't remember being Woody Batman. But I had a Woody costume, and I put everything on except like the hat, and then I put a Batman mask on. Bro, I was Bat Woody because of that, and the fact that I'm a real cowboy, you know?
From a kid, I watched Toy Story a lot, so I put him in there. Yeah.
Tom Hanks really did so good on that character. He was hilarious.
Both Tom Hanks and Tim Allen. Tim Allen did the voice of Buzz Lightyear. Tom Hanks did Woody. It's funny though, because we rewatched the first one a little bit ago, I think together. It was a couple years ago, and he's really mean to Buzz Lightyear, like the whole movie. It's kind of crazy that he was so likable, even though he was so mean. But pretty wild. Anybody else have anything to say about Woody?
There's a snake in my boot.
Dang it, I was going to say that.
There ain't enough room in the town for the 2 of us.
That's good. All right. We're now to our top 5. So these were all highest on the lists and voted on at least 2 lists. And it is Sully from Monsters, Inc. Who had him on the list? Connor?
I put him in my top 5 because I thought he was pretty cool and stuff. And what was it? I really liked the whenever they went to college. I think that was my favorite one.
Cool. Zeke, what about you? He's your number 1, right?
The fact that he loved a child, even though he wasn't supposed to like children, he named the child, and Mike Wazowski was not on board with that. I think if you really like a child and they don't have parents, you can adopt them. I feel like that.
Sully was a great character. I love that movie too. I think the fact that the twist of scaring kids to get energy, I think that's just a really clever mechanic for the storytelling, but then also to flip it around by the end and recognize, oh wow, kids' laughter is actually more powerful, is just really, really great storyline. So, all right, number 4, Winnie the Pooh. Who had Winnie the Pooh on your list? Nice. Colton, why don't you go?
I like Winnie the Pooh because of his love for honey. He's always like, honey. And his voice is so weird when he's saying honey. And his voice is just so weird, period. Honey. Like, I just like his voice. And he's pretty goofy and cute. And I might have a body pillow of him for Halloween.
Nice.
Oh, a Winnie the Pooh body pillow for Halloween. Yes.
That's cool. So Winnie the Pooh was also on my list. So you and I have one in common. I grew up on Winnie the Pooh. There's one of the books I remember as a kid was Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day or something like that. So I used to always quote that whenever I was out in public with old people, and it was awesome.
I like the live action one. That was pretty cool.
Yes, yeah, the one with Christopher Robin.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That's the name.
Cool. Yeah, it was really good. And we just talked about that one with the Robin Williams episode too, because it's similar in that Christopher Robin forgot about his imaginary friends, and then he goes back to the 100-acre wood and finds them again. So, side note, there's also a horror movie series out now that's Winnie the Pooh and Blood and Honey, where Christopher Robin has forgotten about the imaginary friends, and so they're coming back to kill him. So that's pretty funny.
It's awful. Don't recommend it.
No, I want to watch it.
No, it's not even scary. It's just stupid.
Yeah, it is. It is just stupid, but it's one of those just like so stupid it's funny. All right, here we go. Number 3 on our group list is number 2 and 2 on yours and my list. Kristen, Ariel from Little Mermaid. Tell us a little bit about why you have her so high.
Another one of my favorite movies as a kid, and even now, I feel like it still holds up. The music was incredible. The fact that it's this strong-headed girl, teenager, I could relate to that. And she just is determined to see what humans are like. And so she just doesn't listen to her parents or her dad. So don't listen to that, y'all. But she just continues to seek and become a human.
Yeah, she wants to find love, and she wants to love who she wants to love and not be told by someone else that she can't love that person. I mean, there's a lot to that. I think also when it comes to the going against your father's wishes in the movie, it's because they have this prejudice against humans. It's also this fear of humans. And so there's this kind of thing that has been going on forever in their history. And so it's hard for she doesn't have that same thing against the humans. So why would she, not fall in love with a human since she's got nothing against them? But it's just this interesting kind of generational discussion around that. If you wanted to take it to some like civil rights stuff, or even like the fact that there's these people that, it's just, I think there's something that's interesting there. I loved it for Sebastian, and the music was so great. But that was one. So that was the first movie I remember tracking how many times I'd watched it, and I stopped counting at 13. But it was like within the first 2 weeks of it being, on VHS, I'd probably watched it so many times. So one of the other things that I did want to mention about it is that we actually haven't seen the live action version, but we do have an episode coming up in a few weeks where we're going to be talking about Lion King and comparing the animated versus the live action, and also talking a little bit about the other live action films. So I want to watch the live action Little Mermaid before that, so we can talk intelligently about that. But yeah, I mean, it was under a lot of scrutiny when it came out because she's Black. But I think there's something very, very cool and beautiful about the movie, and they did a lot of the same songs, so it'll be fun to kind of see that.
Don't be such a guppy flounder.
Very nice. Yes, one of my favorite quotes also. And the dingle hopper.
What? Got legs.
She's got legs, you idiot. Oh, so many great lines, so quotable. Oh my gosh.
That was the last second, my bad. But I liked the Disney ride for Ariel. That was super fun.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was so realistic. It's crazy how realistic they can make those animatronics. Jacob, did you fall in love when we went to Disney World?
Yeah.
On the Ariel ride?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was starstruck. I had like hearts on my eyes, like.
And I'm pretty sure Colton got a little girlfriend, Tinkerbell.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, Tinkerbell was flirting with Colton,
Yeah.
and he didn't know what to do about it. So the number 2 on the joint list is Stitch. Who had Stitch on your list? Colton and Zeke. Very nice.
Stitch was my number one.
Yeah.
Stitch is such a cutie patootie.
Jacob has something to say.
I forgot about Stitch.
Oh man, maybe next time you shouldn't rush through your list and should actually give it some thought, because
Yeah, dude, I gave it thought. I was like, Woody and Dory, what's next? I don't know what to put.
Yeah, that's the best.
Give
The
me one
best
Stitch.
ever.
Stitch is just like so super cute.
What did we learn about Stitch in the movie?
I don't
Because
know.
he's really scary, right?
I only picked it because of his appearance. I've never seen a Stitch movie.
Oh, okay. Zeke, what about you? Why'd you have Stitch on your list?
Because he's kind of like me. He's kind of weird, goofy, cutie patootie, that sort of thing.
For sure. All of that is true. Jacob, do you want to say something about Stitch since you forgot to put him on your list, but you love him so much?
I'm sorry, Stitch. I didn't mean to forget you. I would have put you at number 1 if I could. I love Stitch. He was a real one.
Okay, so even if you'd put him at number 1, he'd still be at number 2 on the overall list, so that's fine. Still same spot. so no harm, no foul.
wouldn't.
Okay, that's enough. All right, and the number 1 character for our Disney list is not a surprise at all. Connor, guess what it is?
Mickey Mouse.
Yes, Mickey Mouse. Very, very good. I actually had him very low on my list, and you had him low on your list, Kristen. But we had to have him on our top 5, right? Like it's without Mickey, we don't have any of these others. So that's pretty awesome.
Exactly.
Connor, why you have something to say about Mickey?
I watched all. They're like Mickey show things, kind of. Not the old ones, the newer ones. It's like Mickey Mouse, like shorts. Something like that.
Oh, were you talking about the ones that you watched with Grandma and Grandpa?
No, I'll find it. Hold up.
Right here.
Go ahead.
I like Mickey Mouse because at the start of every like old movie, he'd be shaking his rumpus while driving the train. It always got me laughing. You watched
that's
the black and
Steamboat
white
Willie.
version, right? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that one.
Mickey Tunes.
Oh yeah, I remember those from Disney Plus.
He's a girlfriend of Mickey Tunes.
Yeah. So speaking of, there's also a new horror movie coming out next year because Steamboat Willie is now in public domain. So they've creating a Screamboat movie where Mickey Mouse is killing all the teenagers. So that's coming out next year. Should be bonkers. Cool. Anything else about Mickey Mouse, guys? Oh boy. Cool. So let's just do it one last time. Number 10, Belle. Number 9, Genie. Number 8, Goofy. Number 7, Jack Skellington. Number 6, Woody. Number 5, Sully. Number 4, Winnie the Pooh. Number 3, Ariel. Number 2, Stitch. And number 1, Mickey Mouse.
Mickey.
That's our top 10 Disney characters list. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we'll catch you next time.
M-I-C-K.
Oh yeah, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Mr. Krabs.
It's the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Fun inside, it's fun inside. The Mickey.
Thanks so much for listening to the Movies That Make You podcast, where movies are a catalyst for meaningful conversations. We hope you'll give us a like, a share. Let us know you were here over at our Instagram at Movies That Make You. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. So until next time, keep watching movies.